University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM PantherVision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
That's a great question. And let me begin by answering it.
The biggest political show.
It sounds like a game show, but it's not.
From the stage in the Milwaukee Theater
End of the
So you
day,
said you'd abandon philosophy and abandon principle.
to the staging outside, we have complete coverage of the fourth Republican presidential debate.
Good evening. We'll get to our extended coverage of the presidential debate in a moment.
But first, some breaking news. All UWM students and faculty studying in Paris are accounted for and unharmed. In an attack described as France's 9/11, explosions rang out during a soccer game in Paris on Friday. It was a series of coordinated attacks throughout the city that killed 132 people. Among those killed is a student from California State University. Noemi Gonzalez was a senior studying design. More than 30 students from the Wisconsin universities were studying in France at the time of the attacks. All are confirmed safe.
We'll have more coverage in the next week's newscast. For now, we turn our attention to politics. For the first time in history, Milwaukee hosted a national Republican debate. We have team coverage tonight. We'll tell you what the candidates said about higher education, introduce you to two UWM students who were able to attend the debate, and follow the hordes of protesters in the Panther Arena and the Milwaukee Theater. The debate was focused on the economy and what each candidate would do to improve it.
The 8 frontrunners took the stage at the Milwaukee Theater. There was little talk about higher education, but Florida Senator Marco Rubio did address the cost of college and how that affects the economy.
35 out of 50 states. Child care costs more than college. There are millions of people watching this broadcast tonight that understand exactly what I'm talking about. They don't know how they're going to make that payment every month. And if they can't make it, they can't work because someone needs to watch their kids during the day. They don't know how they're going to save for their kids' future to go to college.
We look into Rubio's claims about childcare being more expensive than college in 35 states and found out that while it is true, it's a bit of a dramatic example. The statistic he used is based on daycare for infant children. That is the most expensive age to raise a child combined with the most expensive form of childcare. The cost of care for a 4-year-old child is only more expensive than college in 24 states, not 35 like Rubio claimed. And the statistics only deal with public universities, including private colleges, will give a much different picture. PantherVision did get the chance to ask one of the candidates about higher education.
Reporter Sarah Thomas covered the debate from start to finish and joins us live. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. After the debate, candidates come into what's called the spin room. In the crush of the media, I got the chance to talk to candidate Carly Fiorina. I asked her about something Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton talked about at UWM.
And let's talk about how we make college affordable for every young American.
At UWM earlier this semester, Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton made some promises about student debt.
Folks. I want to refinance the student debt that you already have.
After the Republican debate, I asked candidate Carly Fiorina for her reaction and whether she has a plan for college affordability. Hillary Clinton has a college affordability plan. What are your thoughts on college affordability and how we can make tuition more affordable for people who choose four-year college?
You know, as I said tonight, this is how socialism starts. Government creates a problem and then government solves the problem. So what Hillary Clinton doesn't tell you is that the federal government took over the student loan business in Obamacare. Buried in Obamacare is the federal government taking over the student loan business. So now there is no competition for a student loan. Instead, there's the federal government telling you that which colleges you can go to get a loan. The federal government charges you between 4.5% and 6.5% for that loan. Nobody competes for the student or the family's business. And meanwhile, the federal government pays about 1.5% to 2.5% interest on its debt. Does that sound like a racket? It's because it is a racket. We need to get the government out of the student loan business so that there's a flourishing industry that will compete for students' business. How do you get better rates and lower prices? Competition, not the federal government as the monopoly provider, which is what has happened.
All of the candidates at the debate came into the spin room, but I was only able to get to talk to Fiorina. Back to you guys.
As part of PantherVision's team coverage, Sarah reported from inside the theater.
And PantherVision's Kat Shee covered protests happening outside the debate. Here are their reports.
Tickets, please. Ticket. Yep. Tickets, please.
It's the hottest ticket in town, and Matthew Samla has one.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm willing to sacrifice some class time for that.
Milwaukee has the world's media lens on it tonight as the Republican presidential primary debate kicks off. The audience is waiting in the Milwaukee Theater to hear the candidates' stances on the issues. And UWM student Matthew Samla is also waiting.
What brings me here tonight is I am a diehard Rand Paul supporter, and he is the biggest defender of the Constitution up on that stage, and I would love to see him as President of the United States, and I'm here to support him tonight.
And Samla wasn't disappointed. Rand Paul went on the offensive, even fact-checking Donald Trump.
Hey, Gerard, we might want to point out China's not part of this deal.
Yeah. True. It's true. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
This is my first debate.
Scotty Myers doesn't have a ticket, but something just as good. Media credentials.
And excited to report for Wisconsin Public Radio.
Scotty is looking to hear from specific candidates.
So I'm really interested to see if Donald Trump and Ben Carson, of course, the front runners, are able to perform well enough to sort of keep their spots on the top.
And he wants to hear about higher education.
I hope we do. It's an important issue, and us young folks are invested and interested in that.
For the life of me, I don't know why we have stigmatized vocational education. Welders make more money than philosophers. We need more welders and less philosophers. And if we do that...
For both Matthew and Scotty, it's not just a ticket to the debate. It's an invitation to be a part of history. But Milwaukee's first Republican debate was not the only political spectacle today. PantherVision's Kat Shee has that part of our coverage.
Todd Eilers. Wait a minute, my mask is crooked, kid. You're supposed to tell me.
Even the Captain America is trying to get a piece of GOP debate. And 1,200 individuals that gathered to protest everything from free education to fight for 15.
And we make so little money that's really a struggle.
Education for all means tuition-free education.
So we tell them.
After the speeches are done,
we are the students.
Protesters are marching over to the Milwaukee Theater. Meanwhile, another group of demonstrators gathered here at City Hall. Mary Lynn is one of them.
And we, the people, are just used as worker bees. This has affected our jobs. This has affected our education.
We are the people!
As all groups of protesters crowded together in front of Panther Arena, hoping their voice could be heard by the GOP candidates.
Today, Yes is here to voice our stance.
Andrea Valerio, the president of Youth Empowered in the Struggle at UWM.
Well, I guess our message is more directed to Donald Trump for all of his racist remarks, and he doesn't have his facts right.
Captain America Todd Eilers is here for Donald Trump.
Why wouldn't you love Trump? He tells you like it is, he tells you how it is, and he tells you how it's going to be.
The energy is growing as the protest continues for hours after the debate started. In Milwaukee, I'm Kat Shee for PantherVision.
The debate brought not only protests, but the nation's media as well. And UWM's Panther Arena was the hub. 550 journalists from around the world used the arena as their media center to cover the event. Director of the event services, Tom Nicholson, says that the preparations for the debate are comparable to a major Broadway production.
13.5 million viewers turned in to watch the GOP debate. Few of them were found in the Guest House, however. One screening was dedicated to showing the debate, but it didn't attract much attention. We found that more people were watching sports than the debate.
And judging from the empty gas house, many students might not be interested in the presidential election just yet. And statistics show that even on election day, not everybody shows up. In the last presidential election, 61% of the nation voted, but only 41% of the people in the 18 to 24 demographic voted. 18 to 24-year-olds make up almost 10% of the nation's population. There are about 400,000 college-age students in Wisconsin.
There is other news this week, of course.
When we come back, we'll tell you about rallies being held at campuses across the country.
And later, a special style of guitar playing taught only at UWM.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
UWM is honoring its American veterans.
Hundreds of small flags are flying in Spates Plaza in conjunction with Veterans Week. Each flag represents a student veteran or service member currently enrolled at UWM. The week had a variety of events from breakfasts to military vehicle inspections.
UWM is home to more veterans than any other four-year college in 6 states. In honor of Veterans Week, members of the Military and Veteran Resource Center demonstrate how to gear up for battle. But things went from traditional digital camo to green and gold. Emily Zantel has more on that story.
Veterans Week is in full swing at UW Milwaukee, and student Nicole Santos is taking advantage of the events offered for veterans.
I was invited to, they had this past Friday, the Veterans Ball. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend.
Packers free safety Micah Hyde stopped by the Union to meet veterans on Tuesday.
Not too bad. Mom's a huge fan of you.
It's good on an off day to come down to Milwaukee and support something like this and sign a few autographs just for people and put some smiles on their face, and it's fun.
For Santos, the autograph is more than a memory.
I actually wore the number 33 in high school, so I just made him sign a picture that proves I wore the number first.
Santos got her proof and looks forward to the rest of the week's events. In Milwaukee, I'm Emily Zanto for PantherVision.
UWM's veterans range from 18 to 82 years old, and 22% of those veterans are women.
UWM students join a national movement speaking out against racism on college campuses. Students hold a die-in on campus in response to what's going on at the University of Missouri. The school made national headlines following racial incidents on campus and how the university's president responded. He has since resigned. People here say this is a bigger issue.
You're not born to hate. You are taught to do those things. You're taught it, and it's shameful. This society is supposed to be free for everybody.
Marquette also held a rally on Thursday in support for Mizzou students.
UW-Whitewater is mourning the death of their dean of students. According to the school, 57-year-old Mary Beth Mackin died of natural causes last week in her home. Mackin had been at Whitewater for nearly 30 years and had been the dean since 2011. The campus honored Mackin with a Wear Purple for Mary Beth Day last week.
It's a bigger issue than you might think. A recent study by the Association of American Universities found that 23% of women said they were victims of sexual assaults on college campuses. Shelton Love looks at how MATC is dealing with the problem.
Have you ever been sexually assaulted or know someone who has been sexually assaulted in the past and don't want to speak on it? Well, guess what? Today's topic is sexual assault, on things you can do if sexual assault happens to you. Today we'll be talking to students and experts in the field of sexual assault.
Sexual assault means someone's sexually touching you or harassing you without your permission.
Sexual assault means being molested, raped, or either harassed.
Sexual assault simply means unwanted, unwelcome advances from either sex to the other sex or the same sex.
No, I do not know anybody that's been sexually assaulted on MATC premises.
No, I have not been sexually assaulted on MATC campus.
Archie Graham says students can fill out a complaint form, which can be found on the MATC website at the top. Click on the link called Speak Up for Safety, and there is another link to the Mason Incident Report form.
I think more cases of women being sexually assaulted is much more higher than men at this time. But we also see similar situations in same-sex issues as well.
If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, there are resources available. Both MATC and UWM have counselors available to talk to.
A fifth of the faculty members at UW-Madison will be getting pay raises. The school says the increases will be merit and market-based to keep salaries competitive with similar universities. In total, the university has reallocated about $4 million to make the raises possible. This comes as the UW system faces massive budget cuts. UW-Madison alone had an $86 million budget deficit in July.
E-cigarettes are a popular alternative for many students at UWM, but restrictions to vaping could be in the works. PantherVision's John Giddings reports.
This is a strawberry astronaut, so it's got a lot of different strawberry and fruits in it.
Fruit and cereal-scented smoke clouds can be seen rising all around campus, but maybe not for long. Freshman Evan Malone is aware of this.
I know the FDA is regulating it in February, I believe. So it's going to be a big change. There's a lot of
It is going to be a big change. UWM's Physical Environment Committee is working on putting in a policy to regulate e-cigarettes on campus. The PEC wasn't available for comment, though policy change could be influenced by the FDA's late October move to regulate e-cigs similar to regular cigarettes. Another freshman, Jackie Lohr, feels this wouldn't bother him.
I'd be okay with it because I do see similarities between the two, so I wouldn't really mind.
Malone understands, but doesn't want it to go too far.
I think it's a really good thing, and I don't want it to be banned completely, so.
Laura also thinks it's a good thing, especially for stress relief and social interaction.
Yeah, I do it with my friends a lot, and then just when I'm really stressed sometimes, it kind of helps me ease a bit.
In Milwaukee, I'm John Giddings for PantherVision.
Louis De Leon joins us with a look at our weather.
Thanks. How you guys doing?
I'm good. Hopefully this good weather continues.
Yeah, well, we're going to be seeing a lot more active week of weather. Got to break out the umbrellas, definitely, that's for sure. So, but better than snow,
Yeah,
Always.
definitely better than snow.
Yeah. As for your weather headlines, as I said, we are expecting one wet week starting this afternoon with precipitation occurring really into Thursday morning. As for the temperatures this week, we will be moving throughout the 50s, but there is going to be a huge burst of cold air, towards the end of the week when all the rain and warm air moves out, allowing the temperatures to dip into the 40s. And it is then we will see a chance for some flurries and wintry mix. Not exactly full-out snowfall, but definitely some flurries. So as for your current conditions, currently here in Milwaukee right now, overcast skies with the sun just peeking through a little bit. Temperature right now at 52 degrees and the dew point at 36. As for the rest of the day, going to see those clouds stick around, and then it is this evening we will see the rain occur all the way into Wednesday, on and off into Thursday even. The high today not getting much higher than 52, so we have a high of 55. As for your lows across the state, temperatures are going to be ranging throughout the 40s, starting up north in Rhinelander with that low of 43, Green Bay 46, Oshkosh 47, here in Milwaukee 45, out in the state capital 47, in La Crosse and along the state border 46 and a low of 49. As for your highs, temperatures ranging throughout the 50s, not going to be seeing too much of a gap between the lows and highs. As for Rhinelander, 51 degrees, Green Bay 55, Oshkosh 56, here in Milwaukee 55, the state capital 55, La Crosse 54, and out in the state border 51 in Eau Claire. As for tonight, like I said before, we're going to see that rain occurring with the low of 45 degrees, and the wind's going to be picking up. This is when we're going to start seeing those wind gusts picking up a little bit, coming out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rain occurring all throughout tonight, gradually increasing into more showers and more of a constant drizzle. So as for tomorrow, high 56 degrees, winds picking up again, maybe even exceeding the winds of 25 miles per hour, getting into that 27 to 30 mile per hour category. As I said before, high 56 and rain occurring all throughout that day. As for Wednesday, the rain is going to stop and then occur again into Thursday night. So in the morning, you're going to see that rain occurring. In the afternoon, clouds are going to stick around, and with a high 57, wind's going to calm down, maybe just a little bit, but it's going to be ranging throughout 10 to 20 miles per hour, so it's still going to be gusty winds, so very wet, active week for sure. As for your extended forecast, we are going to be seeing temperatures dip down into the 40s, finally seeing the wet weather take a break on Thursday with partly cloudy skies, although we may see some of that rain early Thursday morning, high of 47 there. Then Friday, expecting a wintry mix of rain, mixing with some flurries throughout that day, and this is where we will see that dip in temperatures as the high will be a chilly 42. And for the weekend, Saturday, very similar to Friday with a wintry mix and a high of 40, and Sunday, overcast with a high of 41. So, as I said before, a very active week, so just got to be careful out there. It's going to be very windy and rainy, a little bit cooler, but that's just what it brings right before winter.
Yeah, as long as there's no snow, it's good.
Definitely.
MATC is offering winterim classes starting in December. This is still a new program for the second largest technical school in Wisconsin. MATC's Daniel Hansen has more.
Winter break is almost upon us, but that doesn't mean that the education has to stop. MATC offers winterim classes.
During the winter term, we're trying to offer our most popular classes and classes that we feel students need to take in order to, go further in their programs as well as transfer to four-year institutions. So we go across the range: sociology, psychology, history, English, and a couple of natural science classes. Everything starts on December 20th. It's a 4-week intensive course. It's everything. All our courses are online courses, so students need to go and sign up normally as they sign up for online classes.
Taking an MATC course in the winter can have many added benefits.
Maybe reduce their spring load, take a class that potentially they need to get that would extend their time here. We know that students are really busy and that a lot of our students are part-time. And so for them to be off during that break period, if they have the time and the energy and they're not working too many hours, that it's a good time to get a course out of the way. We also appeal to students who are home on break from other institutions, like UWM and Marquette and whatever, and then they also come and take advantage of our courses.
Make sure you register for those classes before the snow starts to hit. For the MATC Report, I'm Daniel Hansen.
When we return, the swim team splashes into their upcoming season.
And later, a one-of-a-kind major draws students from across the nation to UWM.
All that and more when PantherVision returns.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
You ready again?
Let's go do this.
At MATC, we award lots of degrees, but not everyone makes it to our big ceremony.
Samantha, I own land.
Thanks to the hands-on training they receive from industry experts, many of our grads are already hard at work. But that's okay. They end up with something even more rewarding than a diploma. A career. MATC. Redefine smart.
Opening night buzz in the Kalachi Center as the Panthers kick off the women's season.
And the swimmer making waves in the Horizon League. Here's Kenan Goyet with sports. Kenan?
Thanks, guys. The women's basketball team is kicking off their season with a dominant performance against Tiffin. The Panthers crushed the Dragons with an impressive 85-45 victory. Freshman Alyssa Fisher had a massive first game with the Lady Panthers. She scored the game-high 22 points, all in just 15 minutes of playtime. This team is very young, with 6 freshmen total. The top 3 scorers of the game are all sophomores or younger. Head coach Kyle Recklitz couldn't be happier with the season's kickoff.
I think we showed our pace, which, pushing the ball up and down the court, and it was really nice to get some of our freshman minutes tonight so that they can get a feel of how college basketball games are. When you practice all season and they're going against one another, it's not the same as when you play in a game.
Their next game is tonight against the University of Missouri-Kansas City in the Kalachi Center at 7. The men's basketball team heads to Notre Dame after a 3-game tournament in California. They faced Denver, Lipscomb, and Santa Clara in the Cable Car Classic. They went 3-0 in the tournament, giving them an undefeated record for the season. The Panthers hope they end up here, back in the NCAA tournament, just like in 2014. The team was ineligible last season because of poor academic performance, but they've stepped up their academic game with a cumulative GPA of more than 3.0, with 4 players reaching the honor roll. The Panthers are picked to finish 3rd in a Horizon League preseason poll. The swim team is getting a bit of a break in their season. The men's and women's team have reverse records. The women are 3-1, while the men are 1-3. Assistant coach Lexi Kuska appeared on a taping of a broadcast club program on Friday. She says the team is fun to coach.
And all the way through college. It looks awful, but it pays off. Yeah, for sure. Love it. Okay. I never have to step in on anything. Everyone's really positive at practice. You never have to deal with kind of the locker room stuff, which is great. Everyone has a common goal and they work towards it
The next swim meet is on December 4th, hosted by the University of Iowa. As Jamal Perry reports, superstar Nick Halverson is busy preparing for the Hawkeye Invitational.
As winter approaches, a swimming pool probably isn't a familiar sight for most. But the splashing of water is something these Panthers are used to during the fall season. Nick Halverson is a senior and member of the UWM swim and dive team.
So we start training the first weekend when we get back here, the first weekend in September, and then it ends the first weekend in March or the last weekend in February.
Nick is one of the 3 swimmers on the team who received honors and recognition from the Horizon League last week.
Yep, this is my 3rd Horizon League.
And his hard work definitely paid off, but felt somewhat supernatural.
It's honestly a true blessing. I would never imagine being here my 4th year, just winning Horizon League Swimmer of the Week 3 times and placing in conference every year. It's awesome.
Even after college, Nick plans to continue his swimming career.
I mean, whether I do triathlons or swim at the Olympic trials, I'm not sure yet. I have to get a cut, so we'll see.
And as the swimming season continues, Nick and his teammates will continue to work hard and dive into any challenges that come their way. I'm Jamal Perry for PantherVision.
Halverson holds 2 UWM swimming records, including the 400-meter individual and the 1,000-meter freestyle. That's all for sports. Back to you, Jamal and Jason.
Music programs are a common thing at universities worldwide.
But as Kenan Goyet reports, UWM offers a degree that you can't find anywhere else.
First time I picked up the guitar was the summer when I was 17.
Second-year master's student Brian Burke is a music major. Originally from Virginia, he came to Milwaukee to study guitar for a very good reason.
It's the only place you can get a degree in fingerstyle guitar.
That's right. UW Milwaukee is the only university in the world with a fingerstyle guitar major. Started by Professor John Stropes, the degree features a diverse class list.
That's our mission. It's had remarkable traction. We have students from all over the world in this program.
But what is fingerstyle guitar, and what makes it so unique? Professor Stropes says it's tough to pinpoint.
You don't know what it really is unless you already know what it is.
The style is open to interpretation and allows performers like Sam Balistreri to do things their own way.
Fingerstyle guitar, I think, has a different mentality about it that allows you to think more for yourself than what's written on the page, I suppose.
The class practices together and critiques each other, and each semester they hold a recital to showcase their unique talents and diverse styles. And Burke has added his own spin and used his computer science background to create an electronic piece that he attached to his guitar.
It's playing recordings I made of my guitar, and I just wired up some switches.
A one-of-a-kind guitar for a one-of-a-kind class. In Milwaukee, I'm Kenan Goyet for PantherVision.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of PantherVision.
You can watch us on the Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99 at 5:30 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and again at 10:30 on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in.